welcome to a case study. We're talking about the Inner Power Entrepreneur Program, and Ilya is here to share her experiences in the program. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about where you are, your business, things like that.
Okay. My name is Illy Alvarez. I'm located in Austin, Texas. I currently have a interior decorating as well as a staging company called Joy Space Austin. I've had the business for 4 years. Last year, I decided to add staging, which has propelled me in a completely different direction. And one of the things that I was conflicted with that drove me into the Inner Power podcast and all the way into the group coaching was that I'm considering a different business model in conjunction to what I'm doing. I'm considering opening up a staging furniture rental company. So I was having a lot of internal dialogue about how I would actually have the bandwidth for that and how I would be able to focus on both at the same time.
I love that. And will you share a little bit about, I'm trying to remember originally how you found me.
I would love to share how I found you because
Okay.
it's so magical. It was what my little heart was desiring. So back in July, my assistant, whom I'd had for 8 months, let me know that she was going to be getting a full-time job, and that was wonderful. She's a great person, but it really got me to start thinking about what I really wanted out of Joy Space, especially since I was going to be by myself. I didn't have to answer so much to an employee paycheck. So I was doing some soul searching around that and also around money because she wasn't there to do a lot of the targeting and all of the lead gen that she had previously done. I thought, gosh, it's not really something I want to do, but money became scarce very quickly as I was doing some soul searching about the business. So one day I listened to my favorite staging podcast by Cindy Lynn, and she had you on as a guest speaker, and it was about money mindset. And I was driving an hour back from my mom's house home, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And I mean, I went down the wormhole just as you did when you've talked before about John DeMartini. I watched every single thing I could about you and DeMartini and just everything else. I bought the book. I was all in, and it was actually probably day 15 or 16 of the book. I was like, I have to have more. I just have to have more. And so one of your podcasts was about, I forgot what it was called, but it was essentially a guest coming on to talk about their business and you'd kind of help them through some strategies or some pain points they were having. And so I reached out to you and said, I can't see where to sign up for this. And you said, well, it's not available. We can have a one-on-one, and we did. And that's how I'm here today
That's
enjoying the group
amazing.
coaching.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know you probably know, just listening to my podcast, how integrated podcasting is in general into my story of transformation. And it is like such a cool place to be able to get to learn about a person that you might want to work with, and you know if you jive. And so,
Yes.
I felt like when we got on for that first chat, it was like you already had so much terminology and thinking, and not that you have to have that, but it was like you were open and ready. And I think that's such a beautiful law of attraction thing, where it's like, oh, when you're ready, the right people appear in each other's lives. And so it's
Absolutely.
really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, I have practiced the law of attraction model for a long time in my early 20s, graduating college. Like I very much just kind of let things happen. And if I wanted something, I really fought for it in journaling and meditating. But over the years of getting married and, having more investments and having more responsibilities and starting my own business and having kids, I really kind of lost my way. So
Yeah.
I, I definitely understood how a powerful mindset can be, but I almost didn't know how to get my way back there.
Yeah. Okay. So then when you decided to come on board, what results were you seeking? Like, what were you wanting to learn from me and from the group?
Sure, that's such a great question. I mean, it was kind of like a little bit of all of it, right? Because I
Yeah.
was in this place where I'm going, okay, how much time do I devote to Joy Space Austin? How much time do I need to develop to this new business? Joy Space is what pays my bills. I think this could be just a, a slam of a business model if I could just devote a little bit of time to it. So I was really trying to work through how to prioritize my time in a way that A, felt genuine, and B, would, ultimately bring me the cash flow that I need to be able to continue both of these businesses. And then I really needed some mindset work about not just money magnetism, but that I am deserving of these things. That's such a
Mm-hmm.
big part of that money mindset, is just going through some of those blockages that you have, or those, money stories that you heard when you were younger, and
Yeah.
breaking through those. So now I feel like the sky really is the limit for me, and it's whatever I choose as my goal is, something I can obtain.
Yeah, something that's been so fun having you in the group is like I watch you implement rapidly and you've gotten such incredible results really quickly. And so will you share some of the things that are happening for you?
I would love to. I would love to. So I began just less than 2 months ago. Really got some clarity around where to spend my time, started to really take the stress and the worry about where my money was going to come from, where my income was going to come from, off the table. And um, not last Monday, but the Monday before, I checked my business bank account. I barely had enough money to pay the one bill that was due. And of course, my mind just went wild. And I thought, nope, I'm going to reframe. I'm going to catch this. I'm going to recognize that I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep focusing on what I know I should be focusing on, and it's going to come. And this, between last week and this week, within 5 days, and mind you, those weren't even full days because I've been sick, I've closed 4 deals. So, I mean, just that right there says volumes.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just, it's amazing what you can attract when you have that's the thing about the group coaching, is it's not just about money mindset, it's about community, it's about support. And so I think, in those times where I feel monkey brained, or, oh, I'm getting out of control, or
yeah.
this, I can go back to that place. I can go back to that network and just have a conversation about it, or realize that somebody else is having those same feelings, and be able to engage with people to reinvigorate yourself and remind yourself why you're here and where you're going.
Yeah, yeah. It's the strategy. It's weird how we don't think about law of attraction as a strategy, but it's like teaching you, you said something, you said recognize and reframe. So for people who don't know, if you've never hung out with me before, I teach a 3-step model or formula to be able to reprogram your subconscious mind. So it's recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. So everything I teach in the group coaching program teaches that. And with the daily lessons and everything like that. So you've shown up for all the daily lessons since you've come in, and you've really been engaged. And it's fun to watch how fast you've grown and gotten the income to come in. And, I want to commend you for taking the leap, because it is scary when you get to that place of like, oh shit, I'm not sure what's going to happen with my income. Like, ugh. But I know, like originally when we talked, I was like, I promise you, if you follow these strategies, it will work. Like, I just know, because if you follow what I teach, they're universal principles and they work for magnetism. And so you're just such a beautiful testament of that.
Oh,
So thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much. I'm loving it. It's been
Yeah.
wonderful for me. And the clarity piece is not something that we touched on, but just being able to be so clear and figure that out along the way with some of the classes that we have access to. It's power. It's such power behind it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, great for you for implementing. And yeah, okay. Will you share, if people are watching this and they're going like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
what's the big thing you'd want to tell me about the group coaching program? What would that be?"
Oh my gosh. I feel like I could just talk forever about it. What I will say is that if you're feeling lost, stuck, confused, worried about yourself as it relates to your business and how that affects your personal life, this is absolutely something to consider. It transforms every part of your life and gets you to a place where you are feeling so high vibe, or know how to get to that place. Things happen, and of course, we kind of get tossed in a few different directions sometimes, or we get a little bit of some curveballs here and there. But one thing is for certain: starting something, focusing, and having a community and a group is going to completely change every aspect of your life. I would highly consider it if you're having any of those, like, second guessed questions, or maybe you're along the business route but going, I don't really know if this is what I want. I mean, that was a question I was asking myself prior to this, and found it. I really found what it is I'm meant to do, and there's just so much involved. So I would absolutely tell somebody that you'll be able to find your way.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I know that time is precious and the people watching the time is precious. And I really love to have this just heartfelt conversation and, what results and how does it feel and why do you like it? Because I want to attract people to the group who are aligned with us.
Sure,
It's like, oh, come into the
absolutely.
group if it feels like a good fit. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, Illy. I really appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Amanda. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
I look
Yeah,
forward
and
to
for
more.
those of you watching, just there's a link below this to schedule a talk with me to see if it's a good fit. It's a talk like this, right? Like, you remember when we got to talk, it's like, hey, I want to know what's going on in your business. Can I help you? If I can, awesome, come on board. If I can't, I'll send you some great resources. So thanks for sharing how it's worked for you.
I
All right.
appreciate you. Have a good one.
Thanks for being here, everyone. Talk soon.
Bye.